Welcome to the second video in this series where we're going for server first 80 Druid, and I want to talk about my gear sets today. So originally, months leading up to the pre-patch and knowing that fresh servers were going to come out, I was going for server first, and I was looking at some BIS lists. Scotty J put together a pretty good list, and it was all based off of badge gear, and I didn't really want to put together raids, didn't know how much time we were going to have, didn't know what my RNG was going to be like. So you had to farm an insane amount of badge gear, but I'm going to show you the previous set before we got the news and the announcement from this one little line in this blue post that says the Season 4 gear will be available in the pre-patch for Honor. So this wasn't the case. I don't even think that the Season 3 gear was available for Honor back in Wrath of the Lich King pre-patch, so this is definitely a change. I would imagine just for these fresh servers to let people get geared up a little bit. Overall, for my race to server first 80, I don't think that it really affects me either way or increases my chances one way or another. I think that maybe it hurts it a little bit. I think more people are going to have easier access to better gear, but likewise so will I. So I don't think it's that big of a deal at the end of the day. Honestly, pre-patch is going to be so much more fun for me. There's a lot of things on the to-do list that I need to get done in order to get the server first 80. That I don't want to farm 700 badges. I don't necessarily want to show up to every single raid, just for badges and doing my daily heroic every single day. So really excited about this change, and I want to show you these two sets of gear, talk about them, talk about the give and take. And originally I thought that I was going to have to farm less, but I think I'm going to have to put in more time, but it's going to feel like less time because I'm going to enjoy it and it's a lot less effort to get this gear. So anyways, let's look at these two gear sets side by side. On the left is the badge gear before the announcement, and on the right is the honor gear now that I know I can get the Season 4 pieces. And I want to compare the two. So originally, right off the bat, the choice was going to be the NG goggles compared to the Season 4 set. So the NG goggles, I think the recipe is easy. I'm going to level up my engineering anyways. I would have got the materials for it. Wouldn't have been that big of a deal to craft. One less thing to craft, but now I have to farm an additional 15,000 honor. The Choker of Vile Intent, this costs 25 badges, and I'm subbing it out for the Guardian's Pendant of Triumph, which is another 16,000 honor. And the shoulder pads of Silvermoon Retainer, these come from Heroic Magister's Terrace. I was going to have to run Magister's Terrace Heroic for Starter Contempt anyway, so I probably would have got these to drop and probably could have reserved them in the group, no problem. But instead, now I'm getting the Season 4 gear, which is 13,000 honor. Dory's Embrace, this was a badge piece, and I think this was 60 badges for this cloak, and we're subbing it out for the Gladiator's Resolution. Add on another 21,000 honor. The chest piece, Tunic of the Dark Hour, was 100 badges. I think this was the last tier of badge gear that came out, and I'm subbing it for the Season 4 piece, which is another 15,000 honor. The Bracers, these cost 35 badges. The Guardian's Dragonhide Bracers are going to be 13,000 honor. And then here the weapon is pretty huge. Merciless Gladiator's Bone Grinder. I don't think that it's correct on 70 upgrades. It should have like plus 1,000 attack power right now, but this weapon was 19,125 honor, and I'm going to be getting the Season 4 weapon, Brutal Gladiator's Bone Grinder, which is a little bit more at 28,000 honor. And then we have the gloves. These are going to be 75 badges originally, and instead I'm subbing it out for 12,000 honor with the Season 4 piece. And then we have the belt, the pants, and the boots. So these are all the same. These are all badge pieces. This is the last tier of badge gear. It's just superior to all the other alternatives that you can pick up at this level. So I'm just going to have to farm the badges. So it's 75 badges, 100 badges, and 60 badges on both sides. Then we have the rings, Shapeshifter Signet. This is Lower City Exalted, and Angelista's Revenge, which is 60 badges. And so I have Angelista's Revenge on this side, but I was looking at it, and there's no reason why I wouldn't pick up Band of the Eternal Champion compared to Shapeshifter Signet. So it's got a little bit more primary stats, and I don't think I care about the 20 expertise if somebody can convince me otherwise. So I think in Scotty's video, he didn't assume that you're going to do Mount Hyjal. With the Season 4 gear available now, it's going to be a lot easier to run these raids, and I'm going to have to get Exalted with Mount Hyjal anyways, and that's what this final ring turn is for my XP gains and the pre-questing. and this ring just seems superior. And so I'm gonna wear this one. We have Shard of Contempt. This drops from Heroic Magister's Terrace. I'm just gonna have to hard res this and hope it drops. And then Shatari Skyguard Exalted is where this trinket comes from. It's got 34 crit rating, and then a 50% chance to increase attack power by 140 for 30 seconds after you kill a target. Which is pretty good. You know, it's passive. It's not an on-use trinket. There's no cooldown. You don't have to macro your trinket into like an ability like Tiger's Fury, like I'm going to. But originally I was gonna get this, and then after looking at it, you know, if I'm out of combat, I won't have the 140 AP. It might not even proc after the first kill. And the 34 crit rating, someone mentioned to me in Twitch chat, there's just diminishing returns on the crit rating as you level up from 70 to 80, rather than just having raw attack power. And so I think I am going to go for Empty Mug of Dire Brew. We're doing the pre-patch during the Brewfest event, and so instead of like 60 badges, I can get this for free if I hard res this and kill this boss every day on Heroic in Blackrock Depths. And so I'll just put this on-use trinket on like my Tiger's Fury, or maybe even my Mangle, just to make sure that it's always procced. And then the Idol of Terror, this costs 25 badges. And so you may be wondering the difference between these two. Originally it was going from, you know, I'd rather just AFK mindlessly farm Alterac Valley and get free honor, or, you know, farm, what was it, 700, and it was a ton of badges. But after doing the math, I think Scotty's gear required more badges. I went down and looked at this. So on the left side you need 610 badges, which is crazy to think you're going to get that in 4 weeks, you know, having to level from fresh. A Heroic Magister's Terrace trinket, the Shatari Skyguard I'd have to get exalted with, which that's an entire reputation that I don't really want to mess with during the pre-patch questing. I'd rather work on like reputations that are going to give me XP. I'd have to get Lower City exalted, so I'd have to run Shadow Labs as a Heroic just to get rep, just for the ring, which I'm not super excited about. And then Magister's Terrace Heroic, I'd have to get these to drop and craft the goggles, which isn't bad. And alternatively, on the right side, I need 390 badges compared to 610. So it's actually, I didn't really cut down on my badges that much. The stupid belt, pants, and legs are too good, man. I was just looking at it, and I couldn't really cut the fat here. Maybe if for some reason I can't get those 390 badges by the end of the 4 weeks, I'll look at alternatives for these three pieces. Might just go with the PvP pants because it's the most expensive item. But these legs are really good, unless I can get lucky and maybe get something in Sunwell. I mean, come on, who knows? Maybe I'll join a soft reserve Sunwell and get lucky. But additionally, now I need 153,000 honor, so I have to grind honor cap twice, which I don't think is the worst thing in the world. I'd rather honor cap twice than do daily heroics and do heroics in the pre-patch, but I could be wrong. I want to show you the base attributes. One of the biggest differences between these two. You can see the attack power, all this stuff. It doesn't really matter in form, but the stats look similar, not in form, but the primary attributes are doubled on the PvP side, so I've just got raw stats, which is really sweet for a druid because of these two talents right here. You get Heart of the Wild, increasing your intellect by 20%, just flat, increases your stamina by 10% in bear form, and then increases your overall attack power by 10% in cap form. So yeah, I benefit from primary stats additionally with Heart of the Wild, and then Survival of the Fittest increases all attributes by 6%. So having strength and agi and stam, all these pieces, all these raw stats are getting increased by 6%, whereas you don't have, you know, I have attack power over here, 102, but it's not getting that 6% attribute increase, or the cap form bonus. And so whenever I go into form, you can even look at the primary stats. They look pretty close. You know, 8,800 health compared to 10,000. It's a pretty significant difference. Bigger mana pool on the PvP side. But whenever we go into, watch this. Whenever we go into bear form, I just want to show you the difference in attack power. My attack power is literally doubled. Crit chance is the same. But yeah, the fact that the attack power is doubled is insane right here. And then if we look at the primary stats, I've got nearly 2,000 more health, nearly 2,000 more mana. And then in cap form, it's the same story. So literally twice the amount of attack power. It's pretty significant, as well as 2,000 more health, 2,000 more mana. So overall, since the PvP gear was announced, man, my Druid just doubled up in power. So I'm really looking to get all of these pieces. There's so much to do. I really think that the race is one at the beginning. There's so much pre-questing that I need to do, so many reputations that I need to farm, so many consumables that I need to farm. So it's going to be tough to get all this done, but I think it's going to be worth it. It's going to be, that's how you get server first Druid. And so I'm looking forward to farming this set out. If you want to catch me live at twitch.tv/graves4days, you can find me there. I'm going to link these two sets below. If you want to look at them yourself, if you want to give any recommendation on alternatives, so you can look at these sets and pull up alternatives and tell me what you think you would add or replace, instead of farming 60 badges for my boots. Is there a really close alternative? Or if I do a Black Temple run, I can get an alternative here or there. But yeah, man, let me know in the comments what you think about these gear sets, and follow the server first race journey by subscribing to the channel and checking out my live stream.